You're watching Indonesia Now from Jakarta. Our Asia Watch begins in China. China's capital is preparing for the upcoming Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit, APEC, by issuing tight measures to clean the city's polluted skies, cut traffic, and ensure the town's safety. Cars will alternate their daily circulation according to odd and even-numbered license plates to improve not only traffic but also air quality. Armed paramilitary units have been deployed around the capital to ensure security and prevent terrorist attacks during the summit, which will be attended by many world leaders. Many dissidents and sensitive groups have also been asked to leave town for the duration of the summit. One of the founders of the popular file-sharing website, The Pirate Bay, has been arrested under an Interpol warrant as he was crossing into Thailand from Laos. Hans Frederick Leonard Nich was detained Monday by Thai immigration police at a checkpoint in Thailand's Nong Khai province. Thai's Regional Immigration Police Commissioner said a U.S.-based movie association had hired a Thai lawyer to search for Nich. The U.S. movie and music industries have for years pursued strong legal action against sites such as The Pirate Bay, which they said aid the illegal distribution of copyrighted material. The U.S. military ended their combat mission in eastern Afghanistan on Tuesday by deactivating the Regional Command East RCE International Military Formation led by American forces. A special ceremony was held in Kabul, marking the end of the mission, during which U.S. generals packed up RCE flags. Addressing soldiers gathered at the ceremony, the commander of the mission, Major General Stephen Townsend, praised Afghan security forces, which he said were stronger now than ever. The RCE was established in fall of 2001 to eliminate security threats posed by Al-Qaeda and Taliban insurgents. Thousands of Iranians chanted "Down with America" at a major anti-U.S. rally on Tuesday, marking the anniversary of the 1979 takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. The rally puts more pressure on moderate President Hassan Rouhani just a week ahead of a meeting between American and Iranian officials over Tehran's controversial nuclear program. In 1979, militant Iranian students who claimed the U.S. Embassy was a center of plots against the Persian nation held 52 Americans hostage for 444 days. China and Indonesia have been a partner in trading for a long time. I met with the Chinese ambassador to Indonesia, Ambassador Xi Feng, and talked further about the relationship between the two countries. Your Excellency, welcome. I noticed that this is your first ambassador post, and how's your first 5 months so far?
Well, thank you. I have been enjoying every minute of my stay in Jakarta. Since my arrival in Jakarta 5 months ago, I have been amazed by the similarity between Chinese and Indonesian. We look alike, we eat alike, and we are even caught in the traffic jam alike. And almost every Indonesian I met, they are so warm, so friendly, so hospitable, and your happy index is so high. So the longer I stay in Indonesia, the more in love I fell with Indonesia. So I was also very much impressed by the rich culture, the natural beauty, the diverse, culture, as well as the great potential of Indonesia. But the longer I stay, I also feel the need to learn more about Indonesia, because this is really a country with so rich dimensions. So I would like to continue to learn from the Indonesian people. I would like to be the true friend of the Indonesian people, and I would like to be a true, true advocate for this very important relations between our two peoples.
Okay, and now we know that China will host the big meeting, the APEC meeting. Indonesia hosted last year, and this year is China's turn in Beijing. So what is China's expectation in APEC meeting, both for multilateral and also for bilateral?
Well, following the successful APEC summit in Bali last year, China is happy to host this year's APEC summit in Beijing. The theme of this year's summit is shaping the future through Asia-Pacific partnership. This year in Beijing, we are ready to work with Indonesia and other APEC members to launch the process of Asia-Pacific Free Trade Area, promote innovative development, economic reform and growth, and improve connectivity and infrastructure in the Asia-Pacific.
Ambassador, as we know that our president will make his first appearance in an international event, and Beijing will be the first venue that he will attend, of course, at the APEC meeting. And what do you expect him to gain out of this meeting, especially meetings with China leaders?
So far as I know, President Joko Widodo, aside from attending the APEC summit, he will be a keynote speaker for the APEC CEO summit. I think President Joko Widodo will take this opportunity to elaborate on his policy agenda, both domestic and foreign, and also his vision for the APEC cooperation. Aside from that, he will also be met by the Chinese leaders. So this is a very good opportunity for them to discuss and also to emphasize on the continuation of the comprehensive strategic partnership between China and Indonesia. So I think this visit of President Joko Widodo to China to attend APEC will not only be conducive to our bilateral relations, but will also contribute to the further development of APEC cooperation.
So as we know that China is Indonesia's biggest trading partner, and focusing on the trade and also the investment cooperation, what of the two countries, according to you, what will be the most beneficial aspect for both Indonesia and China?
But China and Indonesia are both emerging markets, and our two economies are highly complementary. China now is Indonesia's biggest trading partner. Our trade volume last year come up to $68 billion US. On the one hand, we are trying to ensure a balanced and sustainable growth of our bilateral trade. On the other hand, we are looking for new opportunities. And in that regard, I think investment in infrastructure will become a driver, force in our economic cooperation. We have noticed that the Indonesian new government have putting forward a strategy of maritime toll road or sea toll road. They will be building 2,000 kilometers of road, 10 new airports, 10 new seaports, and so on and so forth. You know what? During the past 40 years, the Chinese companies have been doing exactly the same. So I think the Chinese companies not only have the experience, expertise, technology, but also the finance to take part in this massive infrastructure building in Indonesia. And China now is leading in establishing an Asian infrastructure investment bank, which will have a capital of $100 billion US, which specifically will help the investment in infrastructure in Asia. So I think there's great prospect for China and Indonesia to work together to support this massive wave of infrastructure building in the Asia-Pacific region.
So speaking of that maritime development, as you know that President Joko Widodo has mentioned many times about making Indonesia into a global maritime axis. And President Xi Jinping, we also know that he put forward an initiative to build a 21st Maritime Silk Road when he was visiting Indonesia last October. And how do you see the correlation between the two schemes, between the two programs, and how do you envisage Indonesia and China cooperation in maritime areas, other than what you have mentioned, the technologies, financing, and sharing experience?
Well, Indonesia is the world's biggest archipelagic state, sitting between the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. It has a rich maritime heritage, immense maritime resources, and great potential to develop maritime economy. In history, Indonesia is the hub in the maritime Silk Road. Chinese navigator Admiral Zheng He led a fleet on 7 voyages to the Western Seas, and each time he came to Indonesia. So during his state visit to Indonesia last October, President Xi Jinping announced the 21st Century Silk Road Initiative, which calls for friendship, cooperation, and mutual benefit. The purpose is to promote policy communication, transport connectivity, trade ties, currency circulation, and people-to-people exchanges among the countries in the region. Meanwhile, the Indonesian President Joko Widodo also came up with the Maritime Axis strategy, which aims to promote maritime awareness, maritime connectivity, maritime economy, maritime security, and maritime diplomacy. So I think these two strategies of President Xi and President Joko Widodo, they complement each other. And the maritime cooperation should become a major strategic bond between our two countries. It will not only deliver tangible benefits to our two peoples, but will also contribute to the peace, stability, and prosperity of the region and the world.
Ambassador Xi Feng was Director General of North American and Oceanian Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. More Indonesia now shortly, including a new style of yoga called acro yoga and a visit to a newly opened Navy museum in East Java.